All right, guys. So, trying to weld together these rear shackle mounts for the 6x4 square body. Not going to say the company that I got them from, but as you can see here, the sleeve is the same exact width as the bracket, which I don't really like. So, I would have to V this out, weld it in, then machine it flat. It becomes a major project. I got in touch with the company, and they said just to weld it basically on the inside. So I'm going to do that, and it should be plenty strong. All right, guys. So a MIG welder is great for something like this. Arc, you can get in there, and it's pretty much heavy enough. But I decided to go with the MIG. You don't want to use TIG for this because it's hard to get in there. I got it as far in as I could go. It's just basically the very top of the bushing here I couldn't get, but it should be plenty strong for what we're trying to do here. All right, I got some brand new 9/16 nuts and bolts here. What I'm gonna basically do is probably get some threaded rod, just put a few small pieces in there and pull the bushings in. Up on the fence a little bit, whether or not, do I want to try to put some paint inside these, or I think I'm just gonna grease them up. I think there is a special grease you're supposed to use with these poly bushings, though. I have to look that up. Obviously I don't want to paint this yet, so probably just going to leave it bare metal on the inside, get the right grease for it, squeeze these together. Well, after I weld it onto the frame first. I had drilled these holes, hoping I could have, bolted it to the frame, which I still can. I can make my holes in the frame and then put this bolt down with the nut on the inside. This one could go either way. I could do it now on the bench, put two nuts inside, and then bolt it on. But once I make those holes, I kind of make that my permanent position, so I don't think I like that idea anymore. I'm just going to tack it a few times on the sides. Right now, I'm not positive how my secondary springs are going to sit. I've taken a lot of leaf packs out, so I'm hoping I'll have some flex up and down. I'm going to set them a few inches lower than my stock axle, and then hoping once I set the weight of the truck, they'll have enough flex that it'll level out. So like I said, I'm just going to tack them on for now, and then I could cut them off. All right, guys, I got the rough shape cut out for the shackles. Gonna try to, situate these as best I can like that, and then obviously the shackle's going to be, I'm going to try to get it on an angle, something like that. You put it up too close to horizontal, you're not going to have much travel in the leaf spring. If you put it too down like that, if you come off the ground, you could end up flipping backwards. So somewhere around there. I cut these up from a piece of plate I had. It's probably about 3/8 thick. So these are going to be nice and thick. The one problem I'm going to have is that, and I knew this already, the pieces of steel I used for the back frame rail, it's just what I had laying around. They're just about 2 inches wide, and the leaf springs themselves, I believe, are about 3. So these guys are going to have to either curve in a little bit and reduce down on the top, or I'm going to end up having to cut them and kind of overlap them, and then fill it all in with weld and support it and whatnot. Like I've said before, guys, this is just a trailing axle. I'm leaving the front axle and leaf springs, going to carry all the weight. If that makes sense. And then the trailing axle is just for extra traction. The front axle by itself could probably handle 10,000 pounds on that bed. I've had so much weight on it with I-beams and steel and whatnot, and I've never even gotten them to move. And that might be a problem down the line. I might end up pulling leaves out of the front leaf pack. But for now, I just want to get the truck running in the spring. I might make up something sort of, let me see if I can do this here. Might make up something like that. And put it, you know, kind of like put my hydraulic press right here. Obviously this would be a longer piece underneath, but I might just put like an offset together and situate the piston right here from the hydraulic press. Then I could put that on there and possibly get it to bend down and kind of do what I want to do. Or I could put it in the vise, heat it with the torch, and kind of bend it that way. But I'd rather do it cold if I can. Then my second try, you know, will be with the heat. All right, I busted out the little vise here, guys. So I had a couple holes in the piece of steel that I had. These two are fine. These two just have like an indent and more of a hole in here. So I just cleaned them up with the grinder. I'm gonna fill them in with weld real quick and then just flatten them back out. Up, I got to drill the holes. The hardware on these back guys is 9/16. What I'm doing is I'm just using the poly bushings here. I'm kind of like getting them a little bit off all the edges, and then I'm just taking the biggest transfer punch I have. Unfortunately, is 1/2 inch, but I'm dropping the 1/2 inch down, getting it as straight as I can, and then just hitting it with the hammer. That gives me my center punch marks. Oh, it's amazing. My phone actually focused for once. And then I'm going to bring them over to the drill press, drill them through. Or actually, I might even just do these on the Bridgeport. Probably be easier. All right, got it chucked up in the old Bridgeport here. Gonna just see if I could go straight down with a 9/16 bit. I got some oil, as you guys have seen before. Let's give it a little lube here and there. Should go through like butter. All right, guys, piece of cake. All right, we're gonna call those done for now, guys. Next step, I'm gonna try to get them into a good position on the frame, and I'm gonna see if I could kind of C-clamp them in for now, or like I had said before, just put some light tack welds, just to see how I like the spot that I picked out for them.